Hi everyone. This is Ranmay here, your host for a show E-Coffee with Experts. Today we have Miss Alexandra Watson with us from GTMA. I love the name, Good Times Marketing Agency. Welcome, Alexandra, to our show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Great. It is a pleasure. Alexandra, before we move on and discuss more about digital marketing, SEO in detail, I request you to introduce yourself to our audiences tonight, and we'll take it off from there.
Great. First, I'll say that GTM is a full-service digital agency. We really began as a creative shop. Our founders had Hollywood production experience, both on and off the camera. And so they brought that into the advertising world and online digital marketing at a time 12 years ago when that was really not the standard. And so we specialized at that time in multifamily apartment marketing. We've since diversified. And in 2019, really, we began to move outside of that sphere and have more and more of our clients in other industries and verticals. So we are a full stack agency. We do branding and web design, award-winning video and visual production, social content, SEO, reputation marketing, PPC, and many other things. And really our focus and the thing that ties our clientele together is that we are working with a local or hyper-local strategy. So we prefer to have clients that have a physical presence, physical products and services that we can use that hyper-local approach and have flexible packages for them at multiple budget levels so that we can customize to their needs and their local market. And I joined GTMA in 2019. I came in as a director with prior agency experience, and I hold a master's degree in advertising. I have taught advertising at SMU and out of Dallas, and both social media marketing and digital marketing. And I'm certified in analytics, SEO, search, and display. I've even written a book on strategic digital marketing that's available on Amazon. So I came in first as the director just of organic, but I'm currently the director over media and marketing. So everything from SEO and reputation marketing to the social content and the paid side as well.
Great. Thank you, Alexandra. I'll book, my copy tonight for sure.
Thank you.
So, Alexandra, you did mention about your, marketing journey, your postgraduate and having your own book. Before we actually move on, so I would like to understand more about your marketing aspirations as of today. Where do you see yourself moving up the ladder? How, depending on the journey so far, what are your aspirations?
I worked as a freelance consultant for quite a while between agency jobs and considered developing my own agency from that. But really, I prefer to be at the strategic center. And currently I'm in a director position. I actually will be accepting a promotion with GTMA to the chief marketing officer in April. And so I will be the head of everything for media and marketing outside of our creative services department. So I'll work alongside our CEO and our CEO on the executive leadership team. And I really think that's where I function best because I like to help develop and mentor other marketers and have my hand in strategically with the clients in the big picture of what they're doing across all of those disciplines.
Great. Many congratulations in advance for that.
Oh, thank you.
Great. Alexandra, you have seen it all. It's been quite some time that you have spent in the industry space. Reputation management. How important is it for businesses, especially in today's digital age?
I think it's extremely important, and it is more and more a portion of the SEO signals that we're looking for as a part of authority and experience online. And so it's really important for businesses to pay attention to their reviews and to make it a priority to respond to them in a timely manner, because it's not only have they responded, but how quickly do they respond and what percentage of reviews do they respond to. And so it's, I think, a common misunderstanding is that they're just answering the reviewer, when in reality, we know as marketers how much people refer to reviews and trust those as a information source. And so you're really not only talking to the person that left the review, but you're broadcasting out to your prospects also, which is why it's extremely important to provide those answers.
And then also in terms of how actually you're responding to those reviews, we see a lot of common answers being sent out for both positive and negative reviews to softwares and
Mhm.
all of that. So how actually you are responding to your negative reviews also plays an important role. Yeah, it does play an important role, absolutely. How do you determine which online review platforms to focus for a specific business or industry? Or how do you ensure consistent messaging across all platforms?
I think having a centralized team and a centralized dashboard really help for that so that you can get the full picture across all of the different channels that people are utilizing. And then really the most important channels are going to depend on your industry vertical and your business needs, because certain things would lend themselves to Yelp for a local business. People certainly look to a service like Yelp when they're looking for restaurants or local services, handyman services, home services in their area, that kind of thing. But others, for instance, like our multifamily marketing teams, apartments.com and apartmentfinder.com are niche industry sources that people go to and leave reviews on. And so it really, you have to look for your particular business needs to see where are people leaving information and where are they looking for sources of referrals and trusted peer feedback as they see it. Google is always going to be in the mix there because the Google reviews are right into feeding into their Google business profile. But certainly there are other channels outside of Google to look to as well for reviews.
Absolutely. Talking about local SEO, small businesses, while they are starting out, they have their own challenges and they try to feed in as much information as they can in terms of what services they are into. You ask them for, let's say, a quick introduction. They give you good 3-4 pager in terms of what they do. As per your experience, what are some of the common challenges that are being faced by local businesses when it comes to the local SEO or digital marketing? And how have you helped them in the past in terms of overcoming these challenges?
Yeah, that's it. It's an interesting question. I think for a lot of small businesses, first of all, if they are a smaller local business, struggle with budget. First off, they don't know how much to invest in their marketing. And they oftentimes don't want to make that investment until they are really at a loss for profit or for customers. And so I think the first thing is educating them in the need to fill the sales funnel, so that they understand that it's not something that they should just turn on and off when they have a desperate need, but that there is value in marketing and filling that funnel even from the time of just a brand awareness and consideration, so that they're developing leads and prospects all the time to keep that funnel going. And so having that conversation, I think, is important up front so that they understand that this is not going to be or should not be an on-off kind of situation where they're just dabbling in marketing every now and then. And I think that is important. And then we all know that, especially with local businesses as well, that a lot of them faced challenges with the COVID pandemic, and they had to adapt and they had to learn to operate more nimbly and also be more digital. Even with if they have a physical product or service, they had to learn to adapt and be online in ways that they maybe had not ventured into before the pandemic. And so I think that it's important for us as marketers to assist them in that and help them understand the digital landscape and how it evolves quickly, how the platforms change, and just be nimble for them and help them to understand how they can bridge that gap between their physical products and services and digital marketing online. Because whether they have a physical product or service to purchase or an e-commerce one, people are still going online to do their research and to lead up to that purchase behavior, even if they want to make the purchase in person. And so it's helping them bridge that gap between the digital world and the physical one.
Absolutely. A very valid point mentioned by you when you talked about how to educate your customers. There are a lot of clients who walk in thinking, this is the investment, this is the return, but it does not work that way. As marketeers who have been there, the ownership is on us to educate them, first of all, if that is the right way to go about it. If they should be investing in that direction or not. And if yes, what are the kind of results that they can expect and what is the timeline for that? So very valid point.
Right. And putting on that consumer mindset for them. So they're thinking, what are the touch points that people are going to have with your business? And what are your key performance indicators for your metrics? How are we going to measure success for you so that we know what our goals are and we can track and report around those as well, so that they understand that there's at least a path to conversion, even if they're in an industry or have a product that is hard to determine a direct ROI, we can still give them a return on their ad spend, essentially.
Right.
And we need to set that up in advance. We need to start with the end in mind with them. So that helps to put them in that consumer mindset and say, let's walk through the consumer journey.
Absolutely. Because we are also engrossed in traffic, in a volume that is the kind of footfall that you are getting onto your website. But what is happening with that kind of traffic? Are they clicking on the exact points where you want them to click on? Is the action or sale actually happening? If not, then there is not much benefit that you're getting out of that particular amount of traffic, even if they're coming onto your website, because the
Right.
purchase action is not happening, right? Like you mentioned, we have to walk through the entire consumer journey to help them, understand if there is X amount of traffic landing on your page, how exactly are they reacting or behaving after landing on your website or on the landing page, so that you actually gain some amount of traction from that kind of traffic which is coming onto your page. So yeah, analyzing the entire consumer journey with the business makes a lot of sense in terms of driving home that revenue. Because end of the day, after a while, it's all about revenue in terms of versus what amount of traffic they are getting, right? Yeah. Google Business Profile, obviously, Google kind of renames these jargons, right? What are some of the best practices for optimizing your Google Business Profile, keeping in mind how to improve your local search rankings?
First, I think that they need to understand that the Google Business Profile has a unique place in the market because it is part of their organic search results. And so
Right.
that's important for them to know. So they certainly should take a look at that profile as an extension of their organic presence. They need to have one primary category with Google, and that category is an important selection because that will drive what the attributes and available fields are for the rest of their profile. It hinges around that primary category. For instance, our multifamily marketing clients are considered it's a product when you're in an apartment complex. And so we take advantage of that then by using their floor plans as their actual products within the platform, so that people can see the various different layouts and the number of bedrooms and bathrooms and that kind of thing. So you can use that to your advantage if you understand that, oh, as an apartment complex, we're going to have products, not services, and how can we use those within the profile itself. So they can always add additional categories, but that primary category is really important. And then making sure, of course, with the NAP information, name, address, phone number, that they have their basic business information as complete as they possibly can, and that it's consistent not only on the Google profile, but on their website and across their digital real estate. Also, they need to have that consistency. Then, of course, after that, making sure their business hours are updated, continually updated, especially if they have closures for holidays or seasonality or that kind of thing. And then adding photos is extremely important as well. It's also a good conversation with them so they know that they can't control all of the photos on a business profile, because consumers can also put photos on the profile as well, but they can manage the narrative at least by having professional photos available and by refreshing those so that they're top of the feed. And then staying on top of updates, utilizing Google Posts is really important as well, so that they can take advantage of advertising specials and promotions and key products and events by using Google Posts as part of their social content plan.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Having consistency of NAP across your profiles is also very important. A lot of small businesses, in fact, businesses, I would say, make that mistake of having different NAPs, at least phone numbers or addresses, across multiple forums. So the uniformity there is a very important signal to Google about the genuineness of the business. So yeah. And then we did talk about the local reviews, right? And then customer feedback. How we, as when we look at it from a consumer perspective, even before buying something for ourselves, we go through that review. It's a very human thing to do that, right? At GMTA, what are the strategies that you use for businesses, for your clients, to encourage positive reviews?
As you said, peers look for that, consumers look for that feedback. They trust it, inherently trust reviews that they have see online, which is important for businesses to understand that even more than an expert in the field, a lot of times people will trust an anonymous online review because they see that more as a authentic and peer feedback. And so they view it as more authentic and unfiltered. And so it's really important to prioritize reviews for that matter. And it certainly, like we said, ties into your trustworthiness as a SEO factor. But we often, for us, we have to caution our clients about trying to solicit for reviews because they automatically want to go there to say, oh, if I need reviews, then I'm going to offer a promotion or incentivize people in some way, which is not the right thing to do. Yelp in particular Yelp users have been burned in the past with that, and to the point where now Yelp hides reviews if the user is unverified or it's their first review on the platform. Every user has to have an established history of providing reviews before Yelp will even put them back into the mix. And rather than incentivizing, we really encourage our clients to look from an operational point of view. Where is it natural to ask customers to leave feedback? See it as an opportunity to improve your customer service, really, and be prepared to take some good with the bad also, or bad with the good, I should say, because it's okay if you don't have a 5-star rating at all times, or if you have 3 stars, or you have some mix in there, because again, that speaks to authenticity of the customer experience. And so be prepared for that. And it really is okay. And actually, users trust that more than they would a completely pristine, perfect review history, because that doesn't speak to authenticity. So we take a look again at that operations that you have and say, is it immediately after the order experience, or the fulfillment of a maintenance or a warranty request, at the renewal of a contract, or at the point of unsubscribing or subscribing to a newsletter list? Those are all opportunities to naturally collect feedback. And so make it easy for consumers to do that and to know where and how to leave the feedback. So if you have preferred channels that you would like them to leave reviews, put that on your signage or your front desk or your customer service areas or in your newsletters or marketing materials. So it's convenient for people to know where to go. And operationally, you're asking for feedback at those natural touch points, because that will be much more easy for the consumer to leave the review and more authentic than if you're trying to just incentivize them to say something good about you.
In fact, more natural about the entire process. You have to make it more human. Talking about this, what we also generally prefer, that 4.2 to 4.67-ish rating is more genuine. And in fact, if you have more volume of reviews versus just 10 reviews, all of them 5 stars. And one other aspect of it, as a consumer, if I buy something, if I get a good product, I feel that it is my right. Correct. Because I paid for it. But if I kind of do not get 10 out of 10 service, then I, as a human, have the habit of complaining about it, right? And I make sure that I go back and I find out where to put in a review, and people do that, right? So this is where, as businesses, we should be ensuring that this looks more natural. If there is some mistake from your end, and you have actually gone back and rectified that mistake, and that same consumer has left you a positive review versus all of them positive. So this kind of gives, as a buyer, as a prospective buyer, for me as an image, even if this XYZ business does commit some mistake or if something goes wrong, they're there to fix. They're a very strong operational team which kind of goes back and fixes the problem. Businesses, they at times tend to ignore and only focus on good reviews. Like we spoke, it does play an important role in terms of making that final consumer decision while buying a product or a service.
Because it's a demonstration then of your customer service, and what do you do when there's an issue? Do you resolve it? And they want to see that. They want to know, if I have a problem, are you going to respond to me? Are you going to make this right? And again, it's an opportunity to show how your business responds to those situations. So you're talking again to those prospects and not just to that single reviewer. So closing that loop for them and having them understand that you will correct mistakes, that you will follow through if there was a shipping delay or a damaged product arrived or that kind of thing. That's extremely useful to them to know upfront, and it gives them a more validation about their purchase, to say, oh, okay, if there's something wrong here, this company will fix it because they follow through.
Absolutely. So I was speaking with one of my automotive clients. He mentioned a very nice terminology for this, which we are all aware of. Post-sales service. He says that is a very automotive thing, but he says that what I guarantee to my customer is post-sales service. So if that is there, at least my customer is secure that I might make mistakes, but I'm there to cover up for that. Like you mentioned, a very valid point, shipping delays, damaged goods, this can all happen. This is very natural, right? But at least if I, as a consumer or a prospective buyer, have that confidence that this particular retailer is going to fix it for me, so I'll go ahead and buy it with having that confidence in the retailer.
I was going to just add to that to say, oftentimes that's the decision factor between your business and another one, to say, oh, this one stands behind their product, or this one has better follow through or customer service. That's a decision factor for them to say, why not buy from a competitor? Because you have a better authentic reputation online, a following through and better customer service that can get you the sale right there.
Absolutely. And talking about local link building for improving business local search results, according to you, what are some of the effective strategies to be able to do that?
So first, just to quickly define local link building for people, cultivating and publishing links from other sites to yours. So backlinks, mentions of your brand or business information elsewhere. It's helping building your experience and your authority by others using you as a reference point, really. So I think local links are extremely important for businesses to understand that it's a part of their map ranking results and their local search results. So the key is really cultivating local links that are relevant and that are high quality, because bad quality links could actually harm your reputation and your ranking. Start first, again, with your NAP. Make sure that your name, address, phone number, your basic business information is correct and that it's consistent everywhere, because that consistency, again, will help. Then from there, really focus on creating local content. Build a list of citations that could help. And those can be as simple as local directories, listing sites that would add value or possibly refer traffic. That's where services like Yext or Moz Local can be useful for businesses also, to centralize that in one place. And then really outside of that, it's building links from other local businesses and institutions in your service area. So it's not as complex as people might think. It takes time to develop those, but reach out and establish other business relationships, local bloggers, newspapers, event sites, chambers of commerce or downtown directories, even local charities that you might partner with or give back to. Those can also be valuable allies for your business. So think again in terms of your operations. What vendors do you use? Who do you work with? Who else is in your area? What other business owners can band together with you? And you can get reciprocal links from those relationships if you think of that strategically about your impact in your service area.
A very valid point there. You did also mention about Google Posts. What tactics have you found to be most successful while using Google Posts?
Google Posts, as I said, are a part of that search profile. So they return kind of additional organic search results for people. So it really is an effective way of just extending your online presence and driving more traffic to your site. So we find that really you want anything you post there, unlike just a normal social media post, you want that to be very business centric. You don't, even if you have a local partner business or something, you might post about them on social media, but that's not the place to post them on your Google post, because then you're promoting their business and not your own. So make sure it's very business centric on your Google posts, but utilize them for specials and promotions, event marketing, featured products. You can showcase things there by adding them to your products and then calling them out in a post to say that if you have special features on a particular edition or a particular model type or floor plan or whatever it might be. So just proactively do that to feature your products and services. You also can obviously run a promotion or a special if you have a surplus of inventory or availability on something in particular. So just put that into your kind of calendar and marketing funnel as a means of promoting what you have most available, and in making sure that you're utilizing them as one of your channels for special offers, because that can be very attractive to somebody when they're coming across just organic search results, to see that there's a special or a promotion on something that they were already searching for. It's low-hanging fruit to do that and have it available in your Google posts.
Absolutely. You keep on mentioning floor plan, right?
That's
You
the
can't get over that.
multifamily marketing side. Yeah.
Yeah. That is included in every, product, service. Floor plan is right there. Great, great. So, Alexander, it has been really lovely picking up your brains on digital marketing, SEO, local SEO at large. Before we kind of let you go, we would like to play a quick rapid fire. I hope you're
Okay.
game for it.
Sure.
Superb. What did you do with your first salary, your first paycheck?
Ooh, my very first one.
Yeah.
I remember, first of all, thinking that, oh my goodness, this is like the most money I've ever made at one time. That first of all, I was like, yeah, I was like, oh, I'm gonna keep getting this amount, and in hindsight, it was not that much. I think honestly, I just did very practical things, and so, I can pay my rent and my bills and pay down my credit card. Yeah, it just basic adulting.
We all did that. Pay rent is probably 9 out of 10 things, 10 times which I hear from my clients, pay rent. And so that is what I did as well. And coming to the second part, your favorite sport.
Favorite sport. Ooh, I honestly am a big fan of the Olympics. So I love watching all of the water sports and gymnastics. So that every time the Olympics comes around, definitely that's the thing. On a more regular basis, we're a bit of a rugby household. So not the typical American response probably, but we do also watch football teams as well.
Football teams. Okay. Which one?
I'm a American football, San Francisco 49ers fan. And we also really enjoy watching the Green Bay Packers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then my husband is a very big soccer fan as well, but he could tell you endless teams. I'm not sure what his favorites are at the moment.
So am I. So that is why I asked. Okay. Great. Where do we find you on Friday evenings, post office?
Sadly, usually working too late, first of all. But then after, yeah, no kidding. After that, usually, honestly, just I'm playing games with my family. So we like a lot of board games, card games, that kind of thing. So that's our go-to. If we're going out, then it's usually to the movie theater to see what's like the latest movie release.
Great. And I'll not drill you any further. We have already asked you a lot of questions to kind of understand SEO at large. Great. Alexandra, it was lovely having you on our show. And we'll try and get hold of you for another one, more detailed one in the near future. But thank you so much for taking out time for this. I'm sure our audiences would have benefited a lot picking up your brains on SEO, digital marketing at large. So thank you so much.
Thank you. It was great to have this opportunity and be on the show. So I appreciate it.
Great. Thank you so much. Pleasure is all ours. Thank you.